A lot of people think that the feeling of shame or the feeling of feeling embarrassed, it is something you should not have. God put these emotions in us for a reason, guys. There is a disconnect between what you are doing or what you have done with what you are capable of doing. But there's a time for you facing the man in the mirror. Because encapsulated inside your shame, there are lessons to be learned. I think the more painful it is, if you do it right, the more effective your next steps will be. Hi, amazing people, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in into High Performers. Welcome to High Performers again. I'm excited to be talking with you today about the topic that I have in mind, and I believe it's going to be very valuable to you, and I'm going to make it worthwhile for you. So I'm very much excited about that. And thank you so much for the support that you've been giving, the subscriptions that have been coming. We love them. The questions that you are asking, we love them. Keep on doing that. Keep on engaging with us because we are doing this for you. So today, before I actually mention the topic that I want to talk about is this. Have you ever sat down and went like, that was embarrassing? That was embarrassing. What I did, what I said, I feel so embarrassed about what I did or what I said. That feeling of shame, I'm not talking about guilt, I'm talking about the feeling of shame. Having done something and you feel very shameful about it, or feeling very embarrassed about a particular experience that you had. And then you just want to hide, and then so that people don't see you because you do not feel proud about the thing that you just did or things that you just said. Have you ever felt like that? I believe most of us have. And the topic that I want to talk about is that the benefits of shame and embarrassment. Benefits of shame and embarrassment. Because there are benefits to that. A lot of people think that the feeling of shame or the feeling of feeling embarrassed, it is something you should not have. It's wrong to feel that feeling. And then they will try to do by all the means to avoid feeling like that or to ignore it, thinking that is a feeling that does not belong to you. You need that. There's a reason why God saw it fit that when you do certain things that are outside the confines of what you are capable of doing, you must feel ashamed and feel embarrassed. There's a reason why when you perform in a particular way that you know is not aligned with the highest ideals that you hold yourself up to, you will feel embarrassed and ashamed. You must. Because if you don't feel like that, then there's a high possibility that you won't make the necessary changes that you need to make. Remember, feelings are like fuel. They are the things that get us to move from where we are. The same way when you put your hand on fire or something like that, that feeling of pain that you will get from there is the one that will get you to remove your hand from the fire. So that feeling of shame, if you don't feel it, you are most likely to repeatedly do the things that are damaging your reputation, that are damaging you, that are also compromising the future and the well-being of those that you love. I remember for one, this other time, it was a while back, when I got my car repossessed. So it was in the morning, I remember vividly. And then the guy called me and said, the sheriff guy who was coming to take the car. I said, no, you will want to find me on my way to work. Let's meet in this particular place. Because I did not want it to be at my place where I was staying. And I also didn't want it to be at my workplace. Because I was embarrassed and ashamed of my colleagues seeing people dragging my car out of the parking lot saying that this guy is getting his car repossessed. I needed to feel that. It was painful, yes, but I needed to feel that. Because at some point, I got to a point where I say that, Mike, you got yourself here. You got yourself here. Irrespective of whether it was challenging, whatever, there are things you could have done to have prevented that thing from happening. And which leads me to me talking about this benefits of having shame and an embarrassment as a feeling you need to inculcate and integrate in your life. And the first benefit is that the first benefit of actually doing that, of having the feeling of shame and embarrassment, is that you will pass the mirror test. You'll pass the mirror test. You'll have the courage to face the man in the mirror and to say that no matter what might have happened outside of you, there are external factors that might have caused you to lose this car, and then people are coming to take it and you feel embarrassed and ashamed. But you could have prevented this. There are things that you did that should not have done that led you here. Or there are things you did not, like that you did that you should not have done. Or the things that you should not have done. Sorry, the things that you didn't do, but you could have done that led you there. And then without that mirror test, what happens now, it is that we are unable to face that guy. Not like we are not ashamed of the guy, but we are ashamed of the deed. Because being ashamed of the guy and being ashamed of the deed, they are two different things. So me being ashamed of that experience of saying that I hold myself to certain standards that should not put me in that position. Why did I have to put myself into this? I didn't want to have like that, that normal motivational speakers moment of I once lost my car. No. There's time and place for those things, but there's a time for you facing the man in the mirror to say that you got yourself here and answering the question of how did we get here and answering it genuinely and honestly. That will serve you a great deal. I remember Jim Rohn, I like to quote Jim Rohn, you know me guys. Jim Rohn said this, he said that this one day, he was 25 years old. It's a beautiful story that he tells. And there was a Girl Scout Girl Scouts who were selling cookies for a charity program that they were promoting stuff for. And then as she was selling these cookies, coming house to house, and then knocked on the door of Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn opened. It was him at home at a time. And then the little girl said, "Hi, sir. Hi, mister. I am a Girl Scout. We are selling cookies for this charity organization that we're doing. And then we have these cookies. All we need is just $5. And Jim Rohn said that was a nice of her to bring that presentation. It's like this little girl doing this nice presentation. And then he had a big problem. The big problem is that he didn't have $5. He said that was very embarrassing for him. A 25-year-old man having to look at a 7-year-old girl selling cookies and making this beautiful presentation. But I don't have $5. But I'm a 25-year-old man living in America. By that time, America was the place of milk and honey, whereby opportunities were all over the place. He said, I felt ashamed and embarrassed. I was disgusted with my situation. And then he called it sermon, the day that saved your life. Or the day that turned your life around. That's the name of the sermon that he had. He said, that was the day that turned my life around. The feeling of disgust helped me to actually get out of the comfort of doing things the way I was doing them. And then I had to lie to this girl and tell her that, you know what, many other girls came and I already, there's so plenty of cookies in the house, so I can't buy them, And he said I was more embarrassed with that lie. And then as a result but that moved me. Had he not integrated that feeling of disgust, the feeling of shame and then embarrassment into his life, he would not have moved. God put these emotions in us for a reason, guys. Don't feel ashamed to a point whereby you no longer acknowledge the importance of that shame. Acknowledge the importance of that shame, not the shame itself. What is it that it is doing? What is it that is telling you about you? It is telling you that you are ascribing to a life that is below what you are capable of ascribing to. There's a very powerful message in your shame, which leads me to the next thing that I want to mention, which is that, without shame, you won't get to learn from your past mistakes. Because encapsulated inside your shame, there are lessons to be learned. Do you want to be ashamed to a point whereby you don't learn anything from that experience? Do you want to be the kind of a person who says that I should not be ashamed of 1, 2, and 3, and you feel like the feeling of shame It's a wrong thing for you to feel, but without you acknowledging that the wrong things you did that got you to be ashamed are the things that are wrong for you to have done in the first place. The whole idea of you having that shame, it is that there is a disconnect between what you are doing or what you have done with what you are capable of doing. Your spirit is telling you something very important. It is telling you that you are better than this. You are way better than this. You can do way better than this. You are not the kind of a person who should be known for not submitting things on time all the time at work. You can do better than that. You are not the kind of a person who has to ignore calls from your son's school saying that you are late for your son's school fee or something like that. You are better than that. And that feeling of embarrassment and not wanting to face it, it helps you to go back to the mirror and pass the mirror test. And goes like, what I'm seeing now, I know is way, way, way below what I'm capable of doing. And from now onwards, thank you to this shame. Thank you to this feeling of embarrassment that I'm now able to apply myself in a manner that will avoid me getting into situations whereby I will feel this specific feeling. So the feeling of shame, guys, it's very important. It's a very important thing. And then please don't mind the noise in the background. But I hope my voice is actually stronger than the noise that is happening in my background. Maybe it's only disturbing me, but you might not be hearing it. But if you are hearing it, please bear with me, because of it might be disturbing what I'm saying to you. So going back again, guys, with this thing of shame and embarrassment, don't be too ashamed to a point whereby you end up not learning from what that shame was there to teach you. That's a very important feeling. We have it for a reason. We have it for a reason. And I don't intend today's one to be longer. So today I actually wanted to talk frankly from my heart with you. Frankly from my heart with you. To say that each and every single thing that you are doing, and then you have a certain level of discomfort in terms of how it makes you feel because you are showing up in a manner that is below the level at which you are capable of showing up. Each and every single thing like that, you need to pay attention to it and realize that feeling of shame, that feeling of embarrassment, that feeling of being disgusted with how you're actually showing up to the world is very important. It's telling you something. Your spirit is telling you something. There are certain qualities inside of you that wants to come out, but they cannot come out. And then the only way they can get your attention, those qualities, or that level of excellence, or that high performer inside of you, who's buried inside of you, the only way he can get your attention is to make you feel ashamed of doing the things that are below what you are actually capable of. So, like I said, today I didn't want to make it quite longer. And don't forget, guys, to subscribe. And thank you for those who have been subscribing. Don't forget to also comment. And then maybe before I close it, let me find out if maybe from the team, if there's anyone who would like to ask something before I go. Yes, sir.
How do you deal with embarrassment that's not from your action, but it's perpetuated from someone else onto you?
As in, you are not the one who has done the deed, but you are ashamed on their behalf or what? I don't get it.
So you have done something wrong.
Yes, sir.
But it's brought upon you in a certain setting. So let's say in a work environment, it's brought onto you during a meeting where the setting is particularly not right for it to come up. But it is put on you to embarrass you.
I see. So that's a very good question. So I think one of the mistakes that we're making is that we think there should be a perfect environment or space, for that. There shouldn't be. The most important thing, it is that whatever that comes out does not prevent you from doing the mirror test. To go into the mirror to say that I could have avoided this. I was giving you an example of when my car was repossessed. That guy could have, like it could have been done in my apartment, whereby my neighbors are seeing everything. That would not have been nice. It could have happened at work. That would not have been nice. But nonetheless, I think the more painful it is if you do it right, the more effective your next steps will be. The more painful if you do it right, the more effective your steps will be. And it's not about what they said, how they said it. It's more about, are you happy with how you handled yourself in that? Are you happy with how you have done the things that actually got to that moment or that embarrassing moment? So yeah, so it's about owning up, taking accountability of what you're doing. That's more key than anything. But guys, just as a recap, 2 benefits to actually, of shame and embarrassment. One is that it will get you to pass the mirror test. Secondly, it will get you to learn from your past mistakes. You need that. It's not wrong to feel ashamed. It's wrong to think that the feeling of shame is wrong for you to have it. It's right that you have it. It will get you to move. Nonetheless, thank you so much. I don't want to be ashamed for actually, wasting your time today. So, but thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone who is logging in and then engaging with us every now and then. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The links are somewhere here. Like I said, I normally get it wrong. I think it's here or there, but there are somewhere here on the screen. Just do that. Subscribe for our channel. I'll be very much grateful that you do, and then we walk on this journey of becoming high performers to ourselves. And then again, don't be ashamed. Subscribe. Love you so much. MT Tabane signing out from High Performers. Cheers.